Well, I spoke last night about the media around the world and at home being hoodwinked by Hamas's propaganda, believing the lies being peddled out of Gaza from the terror group. None more than the New York Times, who ran this front page last Friday with the headline, "Young, Old, Sick, Starved to Death in Gaza," with a picture of 18-month-old Muhammad Zakariya Ayyoub al-Matouq being held by his mother. Well, today, the paper has been forced to admit that photo was indeed misleading. As we've been reporting, as I said last night on the show, the child has a serious genetic condition and suffers with cerebral palsy. The paper said in a statement, "We have since learned new information, including from the hospital that treated him and his medical records, and have updated our story to add context." Not even an apology, nothing, for worldwide damage and the demonisation of Israel it has caused. And let me break it down for you. This is the image the New York Times and Hamas want you to see. And this is the angle the paper did not want you to see, uncropped, showing the boy's healthy mother and brother, both clearly not starving. But of course, by now, it's just simply too late. That photo has gone worldwide, and suddenly this innocent 18-month-old has become the face of the war. The media picked it up and ran with it. It fed the news cycle. CNN attached the photo with the caption, "Palestinians are starving or being killed by Israeli troops." The Daily Mail went with "reduced to skin and bones." The BBC even interviewed the photographer, Ahmed Al-Rini, who said he took the photo in a bare tent which resembled a tomb.
I took this photo because I wanted to show the rest of the world the extreme hunger that babies and children are suffering from in the Gaza Strip.
The Sydney Morning Herald, The Age, The Times, Sky UK, they all ran with it. Even Anthony Albanese referenced it.
We need to make sure that people who are innocent, including the young boy who people will have seen that image of, just breaks your heart. A 1-year-old boy is not a Hamas fighter.
I mean, the New York Times can never undo the damage it has caused from spreading Hamas propaganda. And I think the editor should be sacked for such an oversight of this level. If it was fair dinkum about its correction, that should be the only thing on the front page tomorrow. Now, we can sympathise with this poor little boy who is suffering from a terrible condition at just 18 months. It is so sad. Anyone would feel sorry for him. He's a little boy. But his illness, unrelated to the war, is being exploited by Hamas, by the jihadis who want to fool the world because they are the root of all evil. And the media fell for it. I mean, have a listen to this question asked by a member of the Canberra Press Pack today.
You've now recognised in the last week or so that Israel is clearly breaching international law. Why haven't you imposed sanctions on the broader Israeli government?
This is truly, truly unacceptable. And it points to a bigger issue. This is bigger now than just one photo. We've seen it from day one. Remember when Hamas claimed the Al-Ali hospital was bombed by Israeli forces, when in fact it was caused by a Palestinian terrorist group's rockets? Yet the media picked it up and blamed Israel, even prompting the BBC to admit it had made a mistake. Media around the world also keep reporting death figures from the Palestine Health Ministry, which is Hamas-run, including from the ABC this week.
The Ministry of Health in Gaza says 60,034 Palestinians have now been confirmed killed by Israel's ground invasion and bombardment in retaliation for the Hamas attacks of October 7, 2023.
How curious, given thousands of names since October 7 have been removed from the death reports released by the Health Ministry. Hamas is inflating the death figures. Have any of these journalists thought to ask why Israel, which is supplying aid, would want to starve and kill those it's trying to help so brazenly and so publicly? Or why Hamas terrorists are now looting aid trucks? The media is intent on claiming Israel is starving civilians. Have any journalists even asked about the hostages being starved? Remember these images of freed hostages Or Levy, Ohad Ben Army and Eli Sharabi back in February. Gaunt, frail, and extremely pale. All three of them complete shells of their former selves. There are still 50 hostages captive. We don't know if they're dead or alive or what condition they are in. And there is a complete moral decay embedded in media institutions across the world and the country. And it's quite frankly disgusting that there are journalists who think that there is a moral equivalence between Israel and Hamas. They are bringing their bias and their anti-Israel hatred into their place of work under the guise of fair and balanced reporting. Hamas is not only running the Gaza Strip, but it's clearly successfully running newsrooms. Now, everyone wants this war to end, and that's not to say that there has not been mistakes on both sides. Absolutely there has been, in what is a sustained war. But there is one group that keeps the warfare going, and that is Hamas. And seeing the media capitulate to a bunch of terrorists keeps it going even longer.